confirmation. Take a look at the neighborhood that we're in. This is the place we're staying at right here. It's like a storefront Airbnb. Check and see if I'm live. Check it. Check to see. Check to see if you can hear me. Yeah, so Airbnb, mediocre Airbnb, not bad, great for the price. We're in a decent area, quiet. There's a nice little cafe spot down the way. It's called Gillies. It's really good. I'm gonna try to light the cigar here. It's going to be a challenge lighting this thing one hand. I got a selfie stick on. Someone's in there in the chat, but I can't see the chat. There he is. Yo, no product reviews. Do I got sound? Can you hear me? Real News. What's up, buddy? Man, where have you been at, dude? Where you been at, Real News? Hey, Joey, come on out here and hold the selfie stick while I light my cigar. I can't light the cigar with one hand. It's really hard. Well, I'm going to go in there. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in there. Light Big A here. Brian, Joey, hold this while I... Brian, Joey, hold you go. I got it the other way. If you want, you're on camera right now. You can't see me that well. Here, give me lighting the cigar. Why does it come out small? Here, give me lighting the cigar. Why does it come out small?
Well,
no, they don't use lighters on cigars.
Do you not have a stand?
No, I didn't bring the stand.
No, I didn't bring the stand. I could be your. I could hold it.
You got a cameraman?
I could be yours. But you gotta flip it.
Here's what I do.
Rob, don't give me no charge in here for smoking.
Is there a charge for smoking? Well, I'm just lighting it in, and then we're to go outside.
Yeah, you might sit off the thing. Fucking burn.
God damn it. Here, I'll work it. I'll work it. I'll make it, Captain. I got really.
It's not lighting out here?
Yeah, it's hard because there's wind. Damn it.
Do it in the car. Real News said the weigh-ins look like a good time. Are you guys heading there early for the fights?
Yeah, we'll be there like at 3:30 for the fights. They're spicy. They're a little spicy of a cigar, this Padron. I don't recall which Padron it was. It's about a $11 cigar. A lot of pepper. Like when I say it's not for a beginner. And with the Italian Stella. Yeah, the weigh-ins were a good time. We got to catch a lot of the fighters at their hotel, which was pretty sweet. Brian was able to get some signatures. There's a smoke in there.
Huh? No. How do
You're
you
able to meet Brandon Royval.
Flip it so I could point it the other way.
Yeah, you can flip it, but if I flip it,
what?
Boom.
I go like
You
this.
hold it like that, and you can see it.
Yeah, that's way better. I can read you the comments.
We got to meet most of the fighters. We got to see most of the fighters. You could see how bad they look after a weight cut. I don't think most
Jump on Jacoby.
jump on Jacoby. Yeah, jump on Jacoby. Big height difference. His weight cut looked good. Azamat looked okay, but just, he's cupping. He's not a takedown or wrestling specialist. I think Jacoby takes that. And then take the guy, whoever, is it Bill Algeo that's fighting
TJ Brown.
TJ Brown? TJ Brown had a horrible weight cut, guys. Like, he looked, you can see
He was the last to the hotel.
Yeah, it was the last of the hotel. Did not look good coming in. He looked good at the weigh-ins, but he cuts a lot of weight. And I think he had a horrible weight cut, which probably hurt his strength and his wrestling and his cardio. So I think Bill Algeo has the advantage there, who looked happily. Billy Q, out of the fighters that we saw, looked the best physically. He was happy, smiling, eating some food, spending time with his family. Looked fantastic. So Billy Q looks good for his weight cut, although we didn't see most of the women, if not all the women, as well as the Brazilian guy. Who's Billy Q fighting again?
Barbosa.
Barbosa. We didn't see Barbosa. So we didn't get to see Barbosa, and we don't know how his weight cut, but at the weigh-ins, he looked really, really good. Most everyone looks good at the weigh-ins, but at the weight cuts, like Brandon Royval, what scares me big time right now is my buddy El Guapo Gutierrez. I got to meet him. Really nice guy. He was quiet. He was sucked out. It is amazing to see these fighters and how much weight these guys cut and how much they have to suck out and struggle to make their weight, and how small they are at sort of the weigh-in, and then they blow up a few hours later. It's you can't really tell from just watching the fights and watching the weigh-ins. You see it in person, and you could really see that these people struggle. They fight to make that weight. So I got a different appreciation of seeing that firsthand. We always talk about that, but without seeing it firsthand or being part of it, like helping a fighter do it, I don't think we really comprehend what challenge it is, how difficult it is, and how important it is to cut weight and not cut weight. It built like Billy Q stayed at his weight, didn't have to cut weight. He's good. Barbosa is a guy who's notoriously stays on weight, doesn't have to cut. Well, he cuts a lot, but it's so important to stay near fighting weight as much as possible, not getting any additional weight so you don't have to cut, because weight cutting looks fucking ridiculous. And then I spoke to Billy Q's brother about renutrition, rehydrating, renutrition to get your weight back. It's a challenge. They're eating small things like small grains. They're taking their time. They're mainly doing a lot of fluids, but the UFC apparently helps out. They have nutritionists, because there have been so many problems with fighters missing weight and getting sick, that I think the UFC has been proactive, which is good to hear, about advising fighters after their weight cuts. They were all going for this water that was like vitamin fortified, that also had like some fruit in it. So they have this like fruit-based water that has some nutrients in their form, and they're just definitely powering up on fluids. But they have to watch like what they're eating. They're probably just eating a little bit of chicken. We saw Zellhuber. He was eating some kind of like veggie sandwich. I was surprised that he was eating some breads. He was eating some kind of ciabatta sandwich of some form.
Discord saying Jacoby dropped to minus 140.
Oh, that's good. That's even better.
He opened at minus 200.
Yeah, that's even better. I don't know why. I don't know why people. I think what it is people see that Russian name, and right away they think
they see the undefeated.
Yeah, he's undefeated, sure, but he's a striker. And Jacoby's, even though he got pieced up by Roundtree last time, that was a closer fight than people thought.
Yeah.
I don't think this Russian guy, is as skilled. He's powerful, but Jacoby's got a chin. And Roundtree just came in, made some good adjustments. The height advantage, the kicking advantage, the reach advantage is going to be huge in this fight. I think Jacoby is worth the money line pick and or a parlay piece. Fights that I'm scared of that I have bets on is Jillian Robertson versus the girl from Valenzuela or from where, I think she's from Valenzuela or Colombia. That woman looks like a beast. She came in, she has like an 8-pack. She's got some guns, but Jillian Robinson looks just fabulous. She looked good herself. I think she's got the better ground game. She's got a slight height and reach advantage. but I think, overall her wrestling's got to come on point. If she comes in, gets a good position, secures a takedown, I think she can win that fight easily. And then El Guapo versus Pedro Munhoz. Guapo is going to have the height, the slight height. I think their reach is even, but I just think that Guapo is just on the come up. He's a stronger fighter. He looked a little bit thicker on the stage. He looked a little healthier, despite the weight cut. Munhoz looked good. We didn't see Munhoz at the after the weigh-in, so.
What's the opening review?
What's that?
Opening review.
Opening what review?
The cigar.
Oh, this is a little different cigar. It's good for outdoors because it's a little more powerful. It's peppery. It doesn't have a lot of creaminess to it. Strong earth tones in terms of its peat. So this is not for a beginner. This is like more of a Cuban style cigar that is in the punch or the Cuban Padrones. A little heavier. It has good oils. So this Padron is a world class cigar maker, one of the more famous common cigars, one of the best cigars companies in the world historically, both in the Dominican, which this is, and the Cuban. So I'm gonna lean. This isn't necessarily my favorite type of cigar. I would need to sit on this for a long time to get it where I need it to be. I've had this one now for a few months, around like 2 or 3 months, sitting in the humidor. I'm gonna say 7.5. 7.5 right now, but that could change. It's hard smoking outdoors. Yeah, this is a good outdoor cigar because it is so pungent. It is so beefy and strong. It has a lot of strong flavors. So that when you're outdoors, you're not getting be able to like really savor the flavors so much. You're gonna be walking, you're playing golf or whatever. You'll be able to get a couple good puffs out of it. But it's not quite the same as if you're sitting indoors and you can really nurture it, take your time with it. The outdoor cigars tend to burn a little funky. This one's burning pretty good. But real strong flavors on the cigar. I took the watch off, so I can't do the watch check. The beer, everybody knows the beer. Did I take it inside?
It's right there.
Everybody knows Stella, good Italian, summer beer, light, perfect with this cigar because it's just gonna wash it. It's just gonna clean it. Beers at the stadium, they have I think 22-ounce tall boys. What was it, like $18? Did I say?
18.
$18 a beer for the tall boys. They are going to have some craft beers. I think it was OK Beer, and there was another one. I forget the names of them right now that we had. We also went to Q39 for barbecue. It had a beer there this morning. So we did the barbecue this morning, and we weren't the only ones. That place was filled up. Make a reservation if you intend to go there. Even though they're known for their brisket, the ribs, dude, the ribs, guys. Fall off the bone ribs, tons of meat. So much better than anything we have in Chicago. Our brisket, there's a place called Smoke in Chicago that I think is better. It's different, but I like it more. I prefer that over what we had. I also ordered a pork belly, barbecue pork belly. It was served over coleslaw. That pork belly was so tender, light sweetness. They have more of a tangy barbecue sauce here, but I couldn't finish it all. But that's okay because I got some more of it in the fridge for later on tonight when we come back from the fights. If I have the munchies, I got something there. And of course, barbecue keeps well, so we could stay with that. So
Billy dropped. He was on minus 200, right?
Yeah, because
he's minus 160.
Yeah, so he dropped. That's good.
Max dropped.
Dropping. I think people are afraid of these. It's tough to vote to back these veterans.
Yeah.
Clay Guida. Max Holloway, Munhoz, Billy Q against Barbosa. That's going to be Billy Q's. That's his biggest test to date. We saw Burgos lost the other night, so
yeah.
How good are the victories that people have against Burgos? Even Barbosa defeating Burgos, right? Mm-hmm. How good is that win now, considering that Burgos is sort of, I don't know where he is. It's hard to put him. Be careful when you do that because it'll fall off. We're unable to change any bets or make any bets. Ooh, wow, that's very floral there. That's interesting. We're unable to make any changes to our bets. Unfortunately, Kansas City doesn't have a sports book. I think you have to go to Kansas State. We're in Kansas City, Missouri. Don't confuse that. They love their Chiefs out here, but there is no sports book. So I locked into the bets that I did lock in. One that I'm scared of Gutierrez, but I think he can handle it. I'm also scared of my parlays with Nicolas Mateo because Royval actually had a height advantage and his arms looked better, and he looked fantastic in the hotel. All smiles, happy to be people. He was hyped up on the stage, joking around. Didn't look like he didn't even have. He
predicted a TKO.
Yeah, and he predicted a TKO. So. That's what scares me now is because I have parlays like with Jillian Robinson and Nicolas Mateo with Gutierrez sort of in a Trixie. I have those guys in a Trixie, and then I have Nicolas Mateo, I believe, with Dustin and Kobe. I'm not positive. I think or another Trixie with Gutierrez. So Gutierrez and Nicolau are like my ones that I'm a little afraid of, and I'm afraid of Robinson. But I got Jillian Robinson at -120. And -115 for my largest play of the night. I think that she's fought strikers.
Better.
Brian, what's your official pick for tonight?
Show them the gloves.
Get the signature gloves. Rio News says it looks like it'll be a real fun card.
Oh yeah, this card's going to be awesome, guys. For what it is, a fight night. It's good. It's good. The arena, we haven't seen the complete layout yet, but it's a beautiful new arena. It's going to be, your standard UFC production.
Outside bars.
Yeah, outside, just outside of the arena, there's
music.
this like mall of bars and restaurants that has like a concert stage. And I heard they're going to have a DJ there tonight. So after the fight, that place is going to be lit. So, and people party here. If you're a young person, you're college age or younger, which isn't my demographic, they have some beautiful, beautiful people here. And people love to drink their beer and drink out here. They got more than this place has like an Irish bar. It's got a pizza bar. It's got a tiki type bar. What did you show it to him?
Joey got these done actually.
Yeah, Joey's got those done. Tracy Cortez, Brandon Royval.
Who's the other one?
There's Tracy
Royval, and that's
Gutierrez.
Gutierrez.
And a nice Glover.
A nice Glover.
So guys, here's how you get those signatures. You could do two things. You could camp out by the bus after the weigh-ins, at the ceremonial weigh-ins or the weigh-ins, or you find the hotel that they stay at. Then you go visit the restaurant or bar at their hotel. Not going to tell which hotel they're at, guys, for you, but you could easily figure it out looking at these guys' Instagrams. So we went to the restaurant bar, just hung out. I had a great time, lovely time. I got to hang out with Brendan Fitzgerald as he played the piano. Brendan Fitzgerald is not only a fantastic commentator, perfect for the sport, great new element to the UFC, but the guy is a super talented musician, super, super nice guy, super unoffensive, very bright, does his work great, he even said he knows how to stay in his lane. Really cool guy, happy to meet people, engageful. For me, that's been the highlight of my week so far. Would have loved to meet Max. We got sort of gypped out of meeting Max. The T-Mobile staff they do their job. I'm not saying anything bad to them, but it's going to be hard to bum rush, to sit in a different area, to get past them and try to if you have a ticket for area B, it's going to be hard to try to sneak into area C. They're very professional there. What's that?
Bo Jackson, are you attending Pat Cummins' retirement party later?
Yeah. Well, he's the local guy. So
fans went crazy for him.
Fans went crazy for him. Ed Herman didn't look like he had a hard weight cut, but he looked as fat and out of shape as I've ever seen him. But
he struggled to walk up the stairs.
Yeah, he was slow to get up the stairs. He looked big. He just was a really big guy. He didn't look happy. And he's another hard guy to back, but Zach Cummings is a can too. And fucking the two fighters on this card, or three of them, like Clay Guida and Short Fuse Herman, they have like over 100 fights probably in MMA between them, if not more, at the highest level. I mean, it's just amazing what careers they've had. Over 15 years each. 15 years in the UFC for Ed Herman, and I think for Clay Guida as well. He's had like over 15 years in the UFC, which is unheard of. And Clay Guida still looked good. Like, I wouldn't count Clay Guida out against Rafa Garcia, because Rafa Garcia looked muscular, he looked ready, he looked fresh, but Guida was jumping up and down, didn't have a problem with the weight cut his caveman hair. He doesn't look like the Geico caveman anymore. He cut his hair. He was still bobbing up and down. His brother's going to be there to smack him in the face, get him ready for his fight. He's got the huge wrestling and jiu-jitsu advantage, and he's good defensively, and he doesn't quit. Where Rafa's going to fade, if he could weather the storm the first round, defend those takedowns and get takedowns of his own and control those positions, he's either going to possibly win out a decision, or maybe even get a sub, or a ground or decision victory, or a submission, or even possibly a ground and pound finish. I think Rafa is a tough guy, he doesn't quit, but he fades hard in the third round. So that was the bet that I missed making before I left. I didn't get to place any money on Clay Guida, and I believe it was like as high as plus 230, plus 240 at some point, and that actually was a good bet for him. Ed Herman, I was a little more skeptical. I didn't really want to go there. Barbosa, same thing. Barbosa was only like plus 145. And after seeing how Billy Q looked, I'm glad I didn't jump on Barbosa. Because like I mentioned before, out of all the fighters that we saw after the weigh-ins, Billy Quarantillo looked the best. If he's ready, he comes in with a grapple-heavy game plan that we know Barbosa struggles with. He comes in with a grapple-heavy game plan. I think he eke out an easy decision, or maybe get a ground-and-pound victory. But he's got to mix it up. He's got to take it to the ground. He doesn't want to stay in kicking range of Barbosa, because we all know about those kicks. And you could kick until you're an old man. Barbosa might be old, but that dude, like as I mentioned last week, is super gifted physically, and it has super, just great genetics. The guy's like 41, but his body's like as good as anyone's out there.
Bo says, I think Rafa wins, but yeah, I wouldn't parlay or bet him. And he says, Barbosa money line. He's been staring at me all week.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't harp on you. I wouldn't bet against you on that. It is Edson Barbosa, but guys, going back to my point about the weigh-ins, and even when you go to cockfights, which I've been gone to before historically, even when I was a kid, as well as horse racing. And I hate to equate it that way, but when you go to a weigh-in and you're able to see the fighters before they're, after their weight cut, and then at the ceremonial weigh-ins when they reinvigorate their bodies and rehydrate, it tells you something. You get to see how they are physically, mentally, and I know you can't always bank on that on the weight cut, and I'm making that a big emphasis here. But I am, because it's the first time that I've seen fighters physically immediately after the actual weigh-in. I've always seen guys. I've gone to 2 events and seen the fighters at the ceremonial weigh-ins, which is completely different. They're semi-hydrated at that point. Like TJ Brown at the ceremonial weigh-ins, the dude had energy. He looked fantastic. But I tell you what, coming off his shuttle, man, that dude looked like his friends almost needed to help him. People needed to open a door for him, and that's the little time after the weigh-in. So I think, it is a bigger deal than people think in front of the big crowds. After you get hit a little bit, that power meter, when you have a hard weight cut, is going to matter, I think. So that's why I would favor Billy Q. I don't like that number on Billy Q, but if you could get it at a decent number, if you're under 200, I would stab at that Billy Q money line, Billy Q decision line. I think is whatever that might be. His decision line might be plus 230, plus 200. That actually doesn't do anything but move it. Let you move the knob. It loosens up. Carefully, if you loosen it up too much, it'll fall. So this just tightens. This one is just for, I think, this part, and then this one is for the other part. But you don't really need it. You can just move it. Hey, for an outdoor cigar, this thing's burning good. Got you? This thing's burning really, really good. Look how nice of a roll
burning
that
fast.
is. Yeah, it's uniform. Usually, if it outdoors, because this is Padron is like one of the best cigar companies in the world.
You don't do that.
You know, you don't ever ash your cigar. You let it ash by itself, especially outdoors.
How's the beer mix?
The beer is unoffensive. The beer is just a washer. It's not super flavorful, but it's perfect for the cigar because it just is going to wash the palate. It's not complementing the cigar at all, right? They usually have the hazy IPAs, the double IPAs that you guys are more familiar with. I think those actually complement a cigar, add to the cigar's characteristics, to the flavors. This is really just washing the palate so that I could taste the cigar better. Because the Stella Atrois, I believe, is just a Pilsner. It's a very light, sparkly beer. You know, like they say that, you know, Miller High Life is the champagne of beers. I think Stella Artois could give, it's a better champagne type of Prosecco is the Prosecco, I'm sorry, is the Italian champagne. It's the Prosecco of beers, the Stella Artois. You bring that out. It's very light, super drinkable. I could drink these things all day, especially in the summertime. You know, I'm going to try to avoid tons of drinking for 2 reasons. I want to see the fights. I want to have a clear fight mind when I'm sitting down, not talk to so many people, stay focused, enjoy the fights live because that's what I paid for. It's a little different than when you're sitting at home or watching a pay-per-view. You can party, get drunk. I don't want to do that in this live show because, you know, you want to enjoy the experience, take in the ambient, you know, the whole effort of being here, right? You don't want to like pass out drunk when you come to these shows. You want to see the crowds, be part of it. What's that?
Gutierrez out. We're in the city we were at, just walking around.
Yeah, there was
last night.
Yeah, last night there was a lot of like.
They're probably all in the area.
Yeah, there were fighters out.
Onama.
You know, Onama's here. Really, you know, it's a good nightlife here. If you're young, you're interested, like for a UFC event, I was surprised that there weren't more people at the ceremonial weigh-ins. There weren't more people sort of out at night that were part of the UFC. There were some, but maybe they're coming tonight because I know a lot of the Airbnbs are, as well as hotels, are getting booked tonight. But there weren't a ton of people, and the crowd, I would say, was a little, they were cool, but it was a little, maybe because we're Midwest, no one was standing up, no one was going crazy. I think I was one of the loudest people there. I got a look from Joey
A lot of
Robinson.
nervous energy.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of nervous energy from the fans. The fans weren't going crazy. It wasn't a wild event, but let's see. Let's see. Bring me a beer, please. Let's see how.
Want to open it?
You don't know how. But yeah, so we still got a little hour left here, or a little, you know, something like that, before the fights. We're gonna get there. I think doors open. I wanted to say at 3:30, so we're gonna get there around 4. Fights start at 4:30. I believe it's those fights. I didn't get any. Actually, I did get money down. I put Gutierrez with Bruno, the Brazilian woman that could kick the living shit out of you. I didn't go with Jocelyn Edwards. I didn't get there with the money. I do sort of favor Jocelyn Edwards. She the lady has an 8-pack. She just looked really, really good. I'm a big, you know, the other one, Povia, looked really good as well. Very pretty woman. But Jocelyn Edwards can make this a dirty fight. She's a tough woman. She's getting better and better. No ground game, though. But I don't think the Povia is going to want to go to the ground with her either. I think it's going to be a stand-up affair. And it should be a toss-up. And I think either woman by decision for sure. Yes, to go the distance. I bet that number is like at minus 300, if not greater. I took no distance props. I think this particular card, we want some finishes. We want some smacks, fucking beatdowns. We want to see some beatdowns. We want to see some violence, some blood. But I think this is going to be some really tough, high-level, high-skilled, just all up and down the card, up and down, all really tough people that I think is going to go decision, that it's going to be hard for, other than Ed Herman and Zach Cummins, I could see a decision in almost every single bout. I could see a decision. Where do you see finishes? other than Herman and Zach Cummins. Oh, and Ian Cutelabra and
That fight's, yeah.
yeah, and Tanner Booster. That's gonna go. That's not going the distance.
Possibly Nikolai and Royval.
Yeah, Nikolai and Royval was another one that those guys are going to
They're
try to
gonna
finish
scrap.
each other. They're going to have energy. They're high level. They got great skill. So those are the fights I would anticipate a finish. But I think, or maybe even Jacoby getting a finish. But I think a decision in most, or Jillian Robinson as well by submission.
Brown. If Brown didn't look good, and
Yeah, Algio could possibly finish Brown for
he
sure.
wants out.
But they told me that T.J. Brown is, is big for the division, and he always has these hard weight cuts. So maybe that's, even though we saw him at that, if you're accustomed to that, that's just what you're used to, then it's okay. Maybe he's good to go. So I think we're going to see some just high level, tough, good fights. I don't know what you guys think might be. I think Fight of the Night is going to be Nicolas Mateo and Brandon Royval. I think they're going to give us a great show. And I think Clay Guida and Rafa Garcia are going to give us a great show. And the main event, Holloway and Allen are going to give us a great show, because both are tough guys. Like who's finished either one of the guys, right? Allen's not he doesn't have a perfect record, because I believe he lost in Cage UFC or in his first pro MMA event. This cigar is awesome. Yeah, it's chilly now. Yesterday was perfect weather. It was like 75, almost 80 degrees. Today it fell down quite a bit, but it's still nice. Hopefully we don't get the thunderstorms, so that after the fight we're going to be at that little, I forgot what it's called, so some kind of square area where that's flanked by all these bars. Leinenkugel has a bar there. Guy Fieri has his dive bar there, a taco bar that has great beer, good ambiance. Not necessarily, I'm not going to talk about the food or anything like that. Nothing spectacular, but really good ambiance, good service, good people. The Irish bar was gnarly, beautiful looking bar. Bars upstairs like that are little dance clubs. Tons of people just go, it was crowded yesterday. So today is going to be insane, especially since they're going to have a DJ on the main floor. I can really anticipate there being a lot of, it's going to be a big party. And it's right across the street from the stadium. It's this one area that all the bars, these like 6 or 8 bars, share this square that has a concert stage, a big stage, open area, really, really cool. That's just going to be gnarly over there. But we didn't go to the fancy chop house. Again, we went to Q39 for barbecue today. We ate some tacos at Guy Fieri's dive bar. Man, they party there. They give you some big beer portions, big cocktails, strong cocktails. So if you want to get that, Guy Fieri's place is pretty good. But I like Kansas City. There's this. It seemed like it's geared towards tourism, college kids partying, and is not as sort of backwoods hillbilly as you might think. It's the South. It's somewhat the South. I wouldn't call it completely the South, but it's got that vibe, But good music, great barbecue, nice people. Everyone's been super friendly, cool people, very respectful. So far, everything's been respectful. Like when we're at the weigh-ins, nobody was like yelling crazy. Nobody was running towards or messing with the fighters so much. I think we were probably some of the more aggressive people trying to meet people and grab pictures and such like that. So it's going to be a good time. The only bad thing is that we can't bet. It would be so cool to live bet at the fights. I think being live at the fights would have some advantage, seeing it live, like the television, when you're watching it on big screen or at home. But live definitely, I have to admit, it gives you a different perspective. You see the fights differently. You see the fighters differently. Something about the camera adds or takes away, but you don't have to listen to the commentating. You don't have to hear people say, "Oh, this person's winning the fight," or oh my God, if she doesn't stop doing this, then she's going to end up losing the fight because she's down 2 rounds to nothing. You don't have to listen to all that stuff. You're going to just hear the crowd, and you're going to see the fight live, and you're going to be able to make your own judgment on the fly right then and there. So it's just unfortunate that Kansas City hasn't got with the times and has live sports gambling here, because they definitely could use it. It would be a good thing for them. They love their sports here. I would consider Kansas City a sports town. They're going to have the NFL draft here next week. They love their Chiefs here. They love the Kansas City Chiefs, and of course they're world champs and Super Bowl champions. Mahomes is on his way to legendary status. I think that they already have like 2 Super Bowl wins. One of the greatest quarterbacks of our time, as our driver mentioned yesterday. Our Uber driver was like, hey, they're happy to have somebody like Mahomes in Kansas City. They love their Royals here. There isn't much else. There's some college towns here. They have a lot of college kids. A lot of development. Again, nice people. It's clean. Downtown is really, really clean, especially compared to Chicago, which has gone down a little bit. Our downtown is suffered from 2 things: the increase in homelessness in our downtown area, as well as the lack of the city providing proper cleaning and resources to maintain what we do have. They have a nice little river walk here, but they don't have quite the park system that we have in Chicago. Our Great Lake, the parks that we have along the Great Lakes are unsurpassed. Maybe only in New York do you have a park system that is as extensive or even as beautiful and as diverse as what we have. We might have tops, I think, even over New York. I have always appreciated our lakefront, our parks in our systems, and our park district. So I'm very, I think I need to go back and maybe participate again a little bit more in the politics of that system, because it has been suffering a little bit. And I think that, for people in Chicago, especially the people, the residents there, hopefully with this new mayor, they could focus a little bit, not just on violence prevention and things like that, some of these neighborhoods that need improvement, but go back to what Daley did and just do the re-enhancement of the downtown area, clean our streets up, get streets and sanitation more active, just more just get busy, get to work, make our streets better. Maybe get another UFC event, whether at the Rosemont Horizon, or it's called the Prudential thing, or even the United Center. But there's going to be a Bellator event that hopefully we're going to be coming at. I'm not going to be going live at this UFC event at all. We went live a little bit at the weigh-ins just for fun, so you guys could see a little bit of that. Same shit that you see on TV. I lost my camera, man. Let me flip this around. Yeah, Israel, what's up, buddy? I flew out here, and Joey's going to drive back. Going to be driving back there. Had what little money I had left to make the trip, because the flight was cheap. I had already purchased a ticket like over a week ago, and I got the last cheap seat that was available. It ended up being like $80 plus tax. The food has been a little bit of a cost, not much. We haven't. It's been affordable. It's been affordable. I would say that about Kansas City too. We bought this slab of ribs. It's a giant slab of ribs. That slab of ribs would be like $60, $70 in Chicago. Here it was like $30. Like, I had a plate of 2 ribs, some sausage, this great andouille sauce. Not andouille, I'm sorry, but it was more of a Mexican style sausage, actually. It had a little chipotle in there, had just sort of a Mexican spice to it, beans, a dish, a little small platter, $21. So not bad. Yesterday's breakfast was awesome. I had a Bloody Mary with a beautiful plate of lox, salmon with avocado, with some beautiful pickled relish or pickled cabbage, I believe it was. Tasty, 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 and that was like less than $20 with the Bloody Mary. So food costs have been pretty good. I wouldn't say cheap, but pretty darn good. So it hasn't been a super expensive trip. I think the barbecue, because I owe Joey a meal, that's been the most expensive thing. And if I drink beers, which I'm not going to do, it's like $18 a beer at the arena. So that's the main thing to avoid. Do not drink at the event, guys, unless you really want to spend a lot of money. You're going to end up spending $100, just in beers. You have like 5 beers, you're going to be at the $100 range. So I wouldn't recommend the drinking at the stadium, and I don't even want to know what the food's going to be like. And I think that's everywhere. Like, you go to a Bears game, I think it's like $15 a beer. I don't know what it is at the Hawks game or what it is at Wrigley anymore, but you're better off in this place. You're not going to be able to sneak anything in. I don't think you probably can. I'm not sneaking anything in. I'm not risking it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. Hopefully I don't spend too much more money. I'm doing all right. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. You don't have to spend a ton of money. You could go to cheaper places if you want to save money. But it is nice going to, when you're in a new city, to go to these places, learn about the city. We went to that Q39 KC barbecue place because our Uber driver, that's what he recommended, right? We went to the square because Onama, the fighter, was at that location where everybody was partying. He put it on the Instagram and was having a good time there. So we went there, and you could eat, and the beer, yeah, it was expensive. I had like a $15 beer. It was a little bit more than that, but it was a big beer. And it was a specialty beer that they put in a big glass. At Guy Fieri's, they have, I believe it's called Boulevard. Boulevard is the name of the local beer company here. They make good beers. So I had a couple Boulevards, and that's been my favorite beer here so far. Other than this morning we had, I forget the name of the local brew company. I apologize for. Not expensive once you're here. Hotels for tomorrow can get up there, but I think if you had gotten some earlier, or if you wanted to stay outside of the city, if you wanted to stay closer to Royal Stadium, like where the Kansas City Royals are at, you could have gotten a better or cheaper price than a hotel. For us here, for our Airbnb, for all 4 of us, was just over $100 a piece for 2 nights. And although the bed's a little lackluster, nice, great kitchen, nice brand new bathroom, everything's brand new. It's just like the beds are a little not so good. I didn't get the best sleep, was not on the best bed that was available, or I think they should have just a better bed. But the place has like a ping pong table, you got a little weight machine, excellent little great TVs, everything works well, running water, good toilets. So we got an Airbnb for 4 people for about $400. And you can't beat that, because we would have spent more than that at a hotel and not had the ability to buy our own beer and bring our own food. You have a full fridge, brand new stove, cups, complimentary coffee, plenty of coffee, plates, silverware, blankets, towels. Not bad. I'm glad I'm able to share this, have a cigar just before the fights. We had lunch. What else is there to do? We've already inundated ourselves with MMA, watching fights, doing our analysis. It's just a shame that I don't have access to any gambling right now. Had to make my bets prior to coming here. I'm just not disappointed, but it's just unfortunate that they do not have, a sports book, because now with the information that I had, I would probably make some prop bets. I would do some things differently. I would look at those distance props, like Jacoby not to go the distance prop. I would look at Nikolai Mateus and Mateus Nicolau and Roy Val not to go the distance. Brown and Algio not to go the distance. And Jillian Robinson in her fight probably not to go the distance. And I would look at some of these distance props. Would have tried to make some like long parlay of distance props, or even overs props. I think I missed opportunities with a lot of the overs here. I think a lot of the overs, guys. I think a lot of the overs are going to hit here. But we got a chance to walk around, see some of the sights, see some of the fighters. I think this has been my best UFC experience. This is my third UFC event, and I would say this by far has been the best one. It's more intimate. We were so close during the ceremonial weigh-ins. Got to meet a lot of fighters at the hotel, which I don't think you're going to be able to do that when they're in Chicago or in a big city or on a big pay-per-view. Security was on us. Very subtle, let people be, and it was cool. So that's the key. Just you can be starstruck, but not be so aggressive. Be cool. Act like you're staying at the hotel. Or when you see the fighters, just be respectful and nice, man. They're going to come and see you. They want to see us. They want to interact with the fans. I got to give that up to most of the UFC fighters, especially the ones that we've seen. Except with Zellhuber, fucking Billy Q. I respected him. He was eating dinner. He was with family. We stayed hella far away from him. But Royval, super cool to see, joking. Gutierrez, happy to see people, interact with people. I think there were a couple other guys that were like walking around after ceremonial weigh-ins, happy to see people. Matt Frivola was there hanging out. We saw him. A bunch of other guys. Tons of the coaches were around that you could have, that were very friendly, good mood, good spirits. And you could see where coaching matters too, where the coaches that you have help, especially when you're drained from weight, to carry that emotion, to help with the support, to keep you light, to keep you invigorated and get you re-energized. Coaching matters. You can see some of these coaches that, like the Russian guy's coach was real serious, quiet. Same with Tanner Booser's coach was very serious, somewhat of a serious guy. Got to see the old Panera, the Brazilian guy who's a coach, ex-fighter, who does the translations as well on camera. Real light, very happy person. That's really cool to see. Brendan Fitzgerald, can't mention how cool that guy is. Lighthearted, super smart, super talented, playing music, playing the piano off the top of his head, even though they said you're not supposed to play the piano. He's like, I can play the fucking piano. I'm Brendan Fitzgerald, man. I'm a part of the UFC. I'm playing this piano, playing all kinds of music for us, just relaxing, chilling out, happy to meet and engage people. Gotta love that, man. You gotta enjoy that shit big time. And then the food and the people here. So far, everybody's been real chill. I think we're gonna have more people coming from places like Chicago, Michigan, fucking Kansas, from all the local areas, maybe more than some of the local. Yeah, Canada got screwed by their upcoming event. Nunes versus the Valenzuela Vixen again. Oh, come on. There was no need for a third there. I don't think she was saying that Juliana Pena was saying that, oh, fans want to see this again. I was like, no. We know that the first fight, Nunes didn't prepare. She overlooked her and she got tired out, had the kid, wasn't training, established a new gym, got submitted. We know that. We know what happened there. Second fight was not even close. Pena survived, yes, but she got lit up. She was obliterated. Couldn't do anything with the wrestling, couldn't get the same submission, laying on her back. It's just a shame for Canada. That's why I think Tanner Boser is a big fight for him. If Boser needs to win this fight so he could get on that Canada card. So yeah, the Canada, it does sting. It's like, it's cool for Canada. It's been a while since they've been back there, and to have Juliana Pena Nunes, come on. Too bad they let what is his name, Olivier Marseille, the guy that beat Shane Burgos yesterday. Too bad they didn't keep him in the UFC, right? Like, to help with the Canadian card. But there are a lot of good fighters that they could put on the Canadian card, which they will. But that is a main for coming back to Canada. Nah, man, the Canadians deserve better. The Canadians know their MMA. They're great MMA fans. Yeah, and Robertson needs to win too. You know, if Tanner Booster wins, yeah, Malott will get on there. Yeah, Malott will get on there for sure. But they need, this is a big card for Robinson and Tanner Booster. I didn't go with Boozer, even though he was a dog money, because he's coming down in weight, and he looked a little rough on the weight. You know, he's a little slow. Maybe that's just his style. And Ian Cutelaba, man, that dude was walking around the hotel like he was looking for Tanner Boozer, like he was just looking for a fight. You talk about Dana White looking for a fight. That guy is real. He's not one of those nice. We didn't approach him. He's not that type of guy. He's about that life. I think he really is a kind of person that just wants to hurt people. He's not like this high value or high moral standard of a fighter. He's looking like he's the type of guy that if he came over here right now, he'd be like, "Why are you smoking a cigar over here, having beer, talking MMA? What are you saying?" You know, he's looking to start somebody at all times. Like that's why he could only go one round, if not less than one round. So if Tanner could survive that first round, if you guys could bet Boozer live, or if you're feeling confident on the money line, but Cutelaba looked good, man, and he was, like I said, it looked like he was hunting, looking for Tanner Boozer or somebody else. He'd fight somebody else. He's like, I don't care who it is, I just came to fight. Cutelaba's about that life. He's like, dude, you don't want that smoke. You do not want that smoke with him in a real street fight, because that dude, it looks like he's looking for a street fight at all times. It's chilly out here, guys. I'm glad I have the hoodie. My hands are getting a little chilly. I don't have long underwear on. I'm wearing some dress pants. This cigar is fabulous, especially burning like this outdoors. Man, it's burning fast because we are outdoors and I am smoking it. But you can't complain. It's a fantastic cigar. It's a Padron. Padron is like one of the finest cigar manufacturers in the world. Some of the probably employ some of the best cigar rollers in the world. That's whether the watch is inside. I didn't wear the watch right now. I have on. I brought my Seiko today. I have one of my Seiko SNKs, and I'm also have my Sugus. I'm going to be wearing the Sugus, white Sugus with the yellow strap, but that's going to be the watch that I'm going to be wearing at the event. I'm sorry I didn't have it right on. I took it off earlier because I had to wash my hands and was washing some dishes, so I didn't have any watch right now. But we'll have a watch. That's what I'm going to be wearing, is the Sugus on a yellow strap is what I'm going to have. I'm going to be wearing a yellow shirt, yellow crazy dress shirt, which you guys have seen before. But I'm going to be wearing a yellow shirt, so celebration. Nice big color. But that's what I'm going to be wearing today. So that's don't have the watch, but the Sugus is a nice watch. Maybe if Joey sees me here, maybe he could go and grab my watch for me. It's over there by the fax. They got a fax machine here. But yeah, you guys know me. I'm always wearing a certain watch. Still have my watch addiction. I don't have as nice a watch as Israel, who was in the comments earlier. He has a beautiful Breitling, as well as an Omega Seamaster, and I believe his he has a classic Pilot Chrono for his Breitling, the yellow one. It's nice having assistants. I got a production assistants here. Joey with the camera a moment earlier. He's going to get my props for me. I could see how that must be nice to. Yeah. So here's the watch that I'm going to be wearing. Flip it. Oh. Yeah, the Sugus. Nice white dial. You're going to complement the yellow shirt well, the yellow shirt, the yellow band. I don't have any yellow socks with me. I'm going to use these patents. Maybe my shoes got a little messed up here. Oh, that's all right. Good. They didn't get messed up. But yeah. What in the chat? What are you guys thinking tonight? Anybody got any plays they want to put out quickly? that we could talk about quickly? Phantom Smeagol, what are you on? What are your bets? It's colder out here, huh?
A little chilly. 2 o'clock. What time
We
does
still have
she?
another hour, if
Yeah.
not longer. I think we get there like at 3:30, or your brother said maybe we get there at 3:15, a little earlier.
Yeah.
We're like 10 minutes away from the stadium.
Yeah.
Like, so we're very,
So
very
doors
close.
open 4?
3. Fight started at 4.
Okay.
No, 4:30. 4:30 the fight start. Doors open at 3.
What do you think of Edwards Lava? First fight of the night, is it?
No, the first fight is the women's fight.
Yeah,
Edwards.
the Edwards fight.
Yeah, I'm on Edwards, but I think if you get her at dog money, great, or it should be close to even money. That definitely goes the distance. Either one of them by decision, but I'm on Edwards. I think she looked a little stronger. I think the Russian or Polish woman, whatever she is,
She's good at that ground. She's good at ground.
If she's good at the ground, then
She
Edwards
gets you and beats you up.
Edwards cannot get up.
Yeah.
Once she's stuck on the ground, that woman has no get up game.
And she'll
whatsoever.
fade.
Edwards can fade, but Edwards has that strength advantage for
She
sure.
keeps it up.
Yeah, if she keeps it on the feet, she's going to win by decision. But if the other woman
She's taken down.
takes her down, if she gets a takedown, Edwards is done. She won't get the sub. Like, she's tough to submit her.
She'll get grounded pounding.
Yeah, she ground and pound, or just she's strong enough that you got to control her. So
Yeah.
I still would lean slightly with Edwards, but even for the plus money that she is, she's not like great plus money. She was only like plus 115.
She dropped. I seen plus 105.
Oh, it's plus 105. Yeah, so she looked better at the weigh-ins, more muscular, a little thicker. She had an 8-pack. She looked a lot just thicker than her opponent. So I would lean with Edwards, but if Pavolia, whatever her name is, implements a ground game, it's over. Like, Edwards has no get-up game, no jiu-jitsu.
Bavolia's last fight, she took her down and got the ground and pound TKO.
Well, there you go, guys. I think if she could rinse and repeat, take down, rinse, repeat, keep on getting some takedowns earlier, wear Jocelyn Edwards down, drag her into deep water. Maybe she gets that finish, but she'll certainly could get a decision if she implements a ground game. But again, that's another fight like a lot of these that I see a decision. And a lot of these fighters need to mix it up. Tanner Boozer, maybe if he mixes it up. But he doesn't have to. All Tanner Boozer needs to do is go into the second round. And I think he could finish Kutalaba.
It just survived the first.
Yeah, all he's got to do is survive the first round. If Osmakov, which he is, the Russian who missed weight a little bit or extra 1 pound over, the height difference I don't like. But if he implements a ground game against Jacoby, but Jacoby's got a good get-up game.
He's a striker, so
it's a striking affair. I got to favor Jacoby. I just don't like that price, but he's dropped a little bit. He's under minus 200 now, or even under minus 170.
Minus 150 now.
Minus 150 is reachable in that at that money line range. So that's pretty cool.
100 pays probably $70.
Yeah, 100 pays 70.
You're almost getting even.
Yeah, it's not horrible. It's not horrible.
I'll take it.
Anything, like guys always mention, anything that's under minus 200 is achievable. Is playable with that $100 to make 60, to make 75 or 70. That's a good play. That's a good gambling play. Sometimes you have to play that chalk money. You can't always just be dog. If like Bruno Silva, like she's Jillian Robertson at minus 120, had to put a unit down on her on the money line, throw another 20 on her, buy the submission at plus 230. I believe I got it at plus 240. So that's my main play. If she gets the sub, if she gets the win and the sub, that makes up for a lot of the bets that I did. I didn't lay a ton of bets this weekend. I just didn't have the bank, and we're paying for this trip, paying for the barbecue, paying for the beers, et cetera, et cetera. So there wasn't a lot of risk here. Also, I got mopped up. I got mollywopped, spanky, just wiped out last week. Horrible bets. I did as poorly as the ESPN capper that they got out there. I forgot his name. We went 2 for 4. I went 1 for 5. Or no, he went 2 for 5 or 2 for 6. But yeah, so that Edwards fight, there's some fights to bet on, but I think there's other better spots where you could parlay some of these better fighters, and the dogs are going to be live. There are a lot of live dogs here. Can Moonhouse implement some kind of a game plan striking wise that's going to intimidate Gutierrez? I don't think so, but I wouldn't hate you if you went that route. Wouldn't hate you if you went with a lot of these other fighters. Rafa, on the money line, but the value on Guida, I think he's got the best value as a bet.
I think he dropped. Real News says, sounds good to me. He also has Edwards, but he's nervous. He has a parlay with Edwards, Zyherber, Barbosa,
Zellhuber,
Boozer, and Algeo.
I don't know if Zellhuber's about that life.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like
he looks like a kid when you next to him.
Yeah, he's a real nice guy, good looking, soft spoken, good demeanor. He's got the huge height and reach advantage. But Lando Inada's a brawler.
Iron Parker, ESPN capper, he did good on PFL yesterday.
Oh, he did good on PFL, yeah. But
on his UFC bets, 3 of 12 last week was the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah, that dude is a joke, man. I heard that he's a really good capper for football and for basketball and other sports.
Yeah.
But the guy's legit. But I think they hired him. I don't know why they hired them. I have no idea.
The weird thing is on PFL they bring him in mid-fight, not even during the stoppage, like mid-throw,
mid-throw, which is okay.
And he's saying what to do.
Yeah, he's getting a better live impression, and at that point, everyone's going to be.
Everyone does what he says.
Yeah, everybody's going to provide a better insight for live when it's a live match. We could all do that, right?
Yeah.
I don't go live. Maybe in the future we will go live, and when we're making a live play, I'll say, "Hey, I'm making this live play right now," and we could do that. But getting a live impression like that is good, right? But we could all see that ourselves. We already know, looking at the fights when we've been watching the fight, when it's round in, how things could go. Things can change, but yeah. So didn't go large this week. Paying for the trip. This trip here, this event isn't necessarily about the betting. Even though we're about the betting, it really is just about enjoying the experience, having a good time here with friends, meeting new people, being part of the crowd. Live event, live MMA. If you haven't been to a UFC event, you gotta go to a UFC event. If you're a UFC fan, it's completely different seeing these fighters, going to the live weigh-ins, walking around town, seeing the fighters, talking to other MMA fans directly in person, not via chat, not in the comment section, which I don't get a lot of, but I appreciate all you guys that do come into the chat, that do provide any comments. Keep participating, hit the like, hit the subscribe, share me if you want to. It's all cool, all very appreciated. Yeah, but it is different. You got to come to a live event. Highly recommend, especially these smaller shows and cards, guys. The pay-per-view cards is good. It's just a different environment. Might be wilder and bigger, but these small cards, man, we had basically an intimate experience with the UFC personnel, with fighters, with coaches, with their families and friends. It's really cool, and it's already worth every penny, all the time that we've invested, which is nothing. It's a 7-hour drive for Joey and the gang here to drive, and then for me as a flight, it was an hour. I flew for free, which is great, so I didn't have to worry about that. But highly recommend coming to these smaller fights, and we're very blessed to have this. And hopefully, Max Holloway's, we're all big Max Holloway fans. Want him to remain relevant. Want him to stay in the UFC as a future Hall of Famer.
Potential fight of the year. Max
Fighter
and Allen?
card. It could be, man, because Allen is a tough kid. Comes from a strongman family. He's no joke. That guy's got much more power than Max.
He's gonna stand and bang.
He's gonna stand and bang. He's gonna be, and he could take down, but wrestle. But Max has never been submitted. Tough guy.
It's gonna be a good one.
Tough. Never been knocked out. It could be a good fight. We're blessed. Max.
I think it'll be better than Vera and Sanhagen. Vera doesn't want to throw shit back.
Yeah, no, it's going to be better than Vera and Sanhagen because
they both throw back.
I think that Max has the most strikes landed per minute in the history of the UFC.
Yeah,
the guy lands a ridiculous amount of strikes, and Allen is fucking very active.
Yeah.
So you put these two.
They both come forward.
Yeah, they both come forward. Both hammers.
So
together.
who's going to go backwards?
Yeah, I don't know.
I've never seen Max go backwards.
I don't know. Any other comments, guys? If there's not anything else, guys, please like and subscribe. Hit the like button. Share this. Place a comment.
Tag DC.
Tag DC.
12 better's coming tonight.
And you've made it this far. You are about better. Appreciate you guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the backside.